we're gonna get over to a spot to park up, and then I kind of want to make a video talking about this car a little bit. What's up, guys? It's your boy Nick Mark here, and today I am with my Mustang here, and I kind of wanted to make a video basically about the as I was saying, there was a fucking way too much traffic where I was. I kind of wanted to make a video on the 9904 Mustang GT, new edge body style, kind of talking about the pros and cons of these cars and if it's the right car for you, because for a lot of people this might not be the right car, because you got to really love these cars to own one day to day. But I would like to talk about the things I like about them. I've owned this body style since I was 17 years old. I'm now 21, so I've had a lot to do with these body styles. I know everything about these cars, so kind of would like to talk to you about it a little today on the pros and cons. I'm probably going to start in the interior though. Basically, the interior of these cars is very cheap, plasticky. Everything is just, it's cheap early 2000s. Well, mine's a 99, but early 2000s, like, you get down here, it's just, this is all loose. This is all loose. This is actually just pretty much like Velcroed on. You can see right there. I mean, they're cheap interior cars. I mean, it's just like late 90s, early 2000s plastic. But I mean, I love the interior of these cars just because it's just what I grew up having as a first car. One thing I will say though is this center console is the worst fucking design in the world, because you see they could have put the e-brake on this side, the cup holders on this side, and then when you shift, this is even with a short throw. Yeah, if you have anything in there that's not small Dunkin' drink, like, let's see here, like, let's say a water bottle for instance, like it gets like in the way and it's annoying. And if you have a bigger drink, like a taller drink, it physically will hit. So I mean, it's not a good design. This is with a short throw too, so imagine if you had that factory long throw, which even this, well, look at this, this is super long of a throw even for like your normal car. I mean, that's with a short, like I think it's her short throw shifter. It's the throw is really bad on these, and the cup holder design is really bad. The stock factory seats, I don't have them anymore. I did sell them, so I can't show you them, but I'm sure you could look at a video. The headrest on them is absolutely terrible. They're a pretty comfy seat. There's zero bolstering on them though. So obviously with zero bolstering, handling around corners, it doesn't feel like a sports car. The headrest, you put your head like 90 degrees back and then you're hitting the headrest. It was pretty much pointless on these cars. The bucket seats did save me a little more passenger space, but I mean, sorry, don't mind the garbage right now. I daily this thing, but there's absolutely no passenger headroom in this car. And with that, you hit your head. If you're like 5'8" or above, your head just hits the ceiling every time you hit a bump or anything. So with that, yeah. Another thing about these cars, they are a solid axle rear car. You can't even see it from this angle. Here, we'll kind of solid axle. So if you don't know how to drive, you can blame you not knowing how to drive on it being a solid rear axle. They don't handle that good. You can't adjust camber or anything. Pretty much every early 2000s car didn't have independent rear suspension on these, but the front suspension alone on these cars too is very doesn't feel very good. It's very loose feeling. I've learned to get used to it because I have owned this car for a while in this body style, so I know exactly how they handle. But to the normal person, the steering does feel very loose on it, a harder to control car, I guess you could say, compared to other cars with independent rear suspension, tighter McPherson struts and everything. These are McPherson in the front. But I guess another thing we can go at is the brakes in these cars. I mean, they look a little bigger, but look at that rotor. This is a 17-inch wheel. Look how small that front rotor is. It's even worse on the back. Look how small that rear rotor is. Very small brakes. So look at all that rubber. Can't tell you where that rubber is coming from. But with that, this thing don't want to stop. Brakes do suck on this car a lot. A lot of people do the CTSV upgrades. So basically, the kind of premise is, if you're going to own this car, you're going to be upgrading a lot of things on it. But I mean, at that point, we're kind of comparing a 99 to a newer car, which they all have better brakes now. Maybe if this is period correct, good brakes, but now they're definitely not. Now, just going to the shop because basically I was at that other spot and basically that's a car dealership's like parking spot, and I'm just trying to find a nice place to film. I'm just going to the shop now. People kept pulling up in there. People kept pulling at the first spot, so we're just gonna go somewhere where I know no one's gonna pull up. All right, so now I shop because you can't get a fucking nice spot, and I do really want to wash the car, but there's someone up there already washing their shit. Wheels are fucking disgusting like usual. Okay, basically where I left off after being interrupted twice now. Basically, I mean, there's not a lot of trunk space in these cars too. Let me pop the trunk here and kind of show you. I have a sub in mind because the sound system of these from factory is not the greatest in the world. Alright, man. The trunk struts are insanely strong. Kind of have straps and a couple things in here, but there's not too much trunk space, as in like this, to fit anything in here. It's a Mustang, so I mean, you really can't be picky with stuff like that, but got my sub in here. It's a 12-inch Gothic sub, and it is a power acoustic 2500 watt amp. These are actually the pieces that go right here and here. I broke it, so I had to figure out something for that. But once you own one of these cars, though, you will fall in love with them if you're a true Mustang guy and you actually enjoy the car for what it is and not what it doesn't have, like I've talked about with the good brakes and everything. You can always change stuff. So, oh, you little bastards, get the fuck out of my car. Sucks to suck. They're very easy cars to work on, and they're very easy to get parts for. Every time I've needed parts for this car, like I just got my rear brakes, 2 new rear calipers from Napa for whatever how much, but I got them from Napa and I was able to get them no problem. Same with all my suspension components. I was able to get them locally. Starter, stuff like that, I was all able to get the stuff locally. If we kind of pop the hood, I'll kind of show you underneath. If you've seen my other video, you obviously kind of saw the walkthrough of what I've done to the car. Very easy car to work on. I mean, it depends on who you are, I guess. But to me, this seems like a very simple engine bay. I pulled the engine out of it before, only once, but it really wasn't too bad at all. I would do it again. Not too hard. I pulled the transmission out of the car in about an hour and a half on jack stands in my driveway. Very easy car to work on. Bumper comes off super easy. Headlights literally pull out with these little 2 pull tabs. Yank the thing out. I know though, I do need some new headlights. These are not up to fucking par here, and I do need to clean this thing. It is very dirty, but nonetheless, yeah, I mean, there's not too much more to really add about it. I mean, it's really how you look at the car and how you perceive it. Some people obviously go through cars all the time. Me, I'm not that kind of person. I like to try to keep the car I have for as long as possible until, you know, there's circumstances or it starts costing me too much money. But in this case, I've put, I don't know, $10,000 on the thing the past year and a half with turboing it. I blew the motor up, my fault, putting cams in it, messed up the timing, destroyed a motor actually. But you know, everyone makes mistakes, so I guess that was definitely a learning experience. But built the motor, basically ground up, refurbished everything, not really built the motor, but springs, heads, took care of that stuff. And yeah, I mean, reliability wise, these cars are very reliable. Like, I'm pretty much springs and retainers in a cam, and I'm holding about 450. I mean, that's what the dyno said. I think honestly it's probably closer to 400 just by feeling and what I've raced, but that's what the dyno said, and whatever, whether it was right or wrong, that's what it made. It's held up really good so far, actually. I mean, I went through a couple alternators, you know, little stuff like that, but these cars are really solid. Transmission's held up fine, rear end's held up fine. A stock engine was holding up fine until I decided to mess it up myself. Haven't really had too many mechanical issues with them. I mean, alternator, like I said, I've had go out before. You'll have little sensors here and there, O2 sensors I had go out, but that's just the name of owning an older car. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna clean this thing up. Hopefully, if no one's up there, I can get this thing all washed up. Any questions, like, comment, subscribe. I might do a little wash video, just kind of a quick overview of me washing it, whatever. And you guys have a good one. Getting it washed up. Get a fucking old sudsy treatment. Hell yeah.